Stephen O'Hearn says, I hear Steve Clarke saying he was scratching his head after that abysmal performance. I was doing the same, wondering why I spent 35 quid. Surely those who attended should be given free admission to the Denmark match and some form of apology. William says, that was an awful performance against Belarus. Clarke has brought in a level of boredom to football. I could go on and on, Keith, but that's a flavour of how the Scotland fans are feeling.
Yeah, and we discussed it, didn't we, the other night. It was always going to be a negative reaction to two extremely negative performances. But the bottom line is, we're saying there, get us in free for the Denmark game and all that. Come on, this is a shootout potentially against Denmark to get to a World Cup for the first time in almost 3 decades. There'll be plenty of excitement around. It was just... I was actually quite pleased in a way, because when we were on the show and Steve Clarke, we hadn't heard him speak in his post-match stuff, and I was quite pleased because I thought he might, go the managerial way of trying to tell people that black is white. He didn't. He kind of put his hands up, said it just wasn't a good performance. It left him completely baffled as to why the performance level has dropped. But at least it was honest. Because he could have just said, well, I knew it was going to be a tough game and we've got 6 points out of 6 and we're in a great position in the group. Because that's the standard Steve Clarke way of flatlining his way through these sort of situations. But he didn't. And by all accounts, in the dressing room, he got his point across to the players as well. And that's one of the good things, and I'm going to find a positive in all of this. That's one of the good things about Steve Clarke. He's actually, in international football, it's a really difficult thing now. They're not your players. Very difficult to go through them in a dressing room because people just switch off and say, oh, is that right? I'll not be back up the road the next time if you've got to speak to me like that. But because he's been there for 6 and a bit years, because he's fostered this kind of like club mentality inside that, it actually enables him. He might be one of the few managers in international football that could get away with that. We're really giving him a rollicking because the levels of respect that these guys have got for him, and that sort of camaraderie that's been built inside the dressing room. And other international teams, that stuff doesn't wash. So good on Steve Clarke that he's kind of let a few people know that it's simply not good enough. And I'm really hopeful that in the next month's double header, the kind of, when this Group C comes to an absolute climax, that he'll get a bounce and a reaction out of these guys, because they'll feel as if they've let him down. And there is that mutual respect and kind of feeling of responsibility for each other inside that squad. And not many international squads have it.
I just like the idea, Daniel, I like Stephen's idea. I was just thinking, if I get 35 quid back for every terrible game of football I've seen in the last 2 days, I'm treeing a hammock behind me.
That's a good shout, actually. I think we should look into that more. Actually, that's a good point.
Absolutely.
Before we,
as I say, pay to get in first, sorry.
Good point.
We've had a few more positive comments in Scotland. Badger says it's about time we got the luck. Remember Italy game? A free kick ref gives to Italy score.
Yep.
When they get no tournament, who cares? We get 6 points. AGSC says the Tartan Army were not fooled. We've seen this from Clarke before. We qualified, then he goes mega conservative. We tighten up and become passive. But Rebel, I think for me, kind of sums up how I feel. I'd rather we were guff and win rather than be the usual gallant loser. I mean,
that's it. We get that pointed at us all the time, don't we?
Exactly.
Great losers, heroic effort and all that. Well, this time it's gone the other way. And listen, all we talked about prior to the 2 games, and all we talked about after the first 2 games was 6 points. Please just give us 6 points. Just give us a shot at it. And we've got them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We're not happy. Like, no one is going to remember that performance against Belarus. No one is going to remember it if we get a point in Greece and beat Denmark. No one's even going to care.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're guaranteed a playoff, Keith. As Swanee says, if we avoid defeat in Athens, we can then take the Denmark game at home as a shootout. Who gets the World Cup?
It's a bit disappointing, actually, because I had it in my head and I got this wrong. Well, I'm pretty certain I've got this wrong, so I've checked it today. But there was a part of me thought last night that the Greece game didn't even matter, because I thought it would go to head.
It's goal difference, aye.
Yeah, I thought it was head-to-head. I thought it's just a one-game shootout with Denmark, but obviously that's been altered this time for group winners. It'd be goal difference. So, bit of a shame. Means we get something in Greece probably, but
I
We
thought
can
it was
do
head
that.
to head as
Won the
well.
last time, so why not?
Aye, definitely.
If we can sort of get the result we got against them last Thursday, given the way they played in the first hour, I'm quite sure we can get a result in Athens.
Sorry, Keith, I think I cut you off there. What were you going to come in?
No, it's fine. What was Rebel's point there? Because it was something that sprung to mind and then instantly vacated the premises.
Just saying I'd rather we were guff and win rather than be the usual gallant loser.
Yeah. Look, that's exactly it. Do we want Scotland to perform better than that? Yes, we do. No, it wasn't that comment. It was the other one I was going to say. I completely agree with the comment that said that Steve Clarke has a habit of doing this. We get good form, we build momentum, and then we reach a competition and the handbrake suddenly, yank back on us. I've got a funny feeling that wouldn't work like that this time. That this is Steve Clarke's last chance at it. That he must have regrets. He does regret some of the performances that he's put on, his team's put on at the Euros, the two successive champs. It was, brilliant just to be there because we hadn't been there. Then you get there, and it was, especially the second one, I thought lessons should have been learned. I thought that Scotland should have been far more aggressive in Germany, and we weren't, and that was on the manager, no question about it. I don't think he'll make the same set of mistakes again if we were to get to a World Cup. It's Steve Clarke's last hurrah. It'll be his last campaign, and I think he goes out with all guns blazing. I certainly would like to think so. So I'm actually, if we can get there, I'd actually be a lot more excited about what we might look like in the finals than certainly what we have done in the two previous ones.
Are you guys both confident?
After them in 100-degree heat.
Yeah, well, there is that.
Walking pace.
At the end of a 70-game season.
Are you guys both confident we will get there? We'll do it?
I'm going to stick with it, yeah. I just think that victory against the Greeks was such a freakish event that it tells me that our luck's turned. And after years of kind of just nothing but grief and these things working against us, for us to play as badly as we have done in those two games and take a full set of 6 points away from them, I just get the feeling, yeah. And I believe in the players. And do you know what? I know he gets a hard time. I believe in the manager as well. But I look at the quality we've got, and when push really comes to shove now in these two games against Greece and Denmark, I think these boys will be really up for it. I think they will understand the size and scale of the opportunity. And I think there's a fair bit of kind of recognition amongst them that it's been so long, these chances don't come around. You might think it's only another 4 years, but for a good few of these players that are key players for us, if it's not now, if it is 4 years, well, 4 years' time, they're going to be nowhere near the level that they're at just now. So it does feel as if it's now or never for this particular group of players. And I don't think they'll let the opportunity pass them by.